and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Tuesday, 19th day of October, 13th day of Cheshvan. Today we're going to address this question. Kiddush Levanah, that's that special prayer that we say when we see the new moon. It acknowledges the presence of the moon and how it always signals to us that we are in some ways like the moon, just like it waxes and wanes. We too have our high points and our low points. It reminds us of the presence of the Shekhinah, of God. We don't pray to the moon, we only pray to God, but it reminds us of God's great powers, that mystical thing that sits up in our sky and looks so different all the time. It's considered a marker, of course, of our months and our life and our Chodesh, and so we say Kiddush Levanah. Okay, the question here that we're dealing with today is why it's almost never said on Friday nights. The answers will interest you. They're very, very interesting. Different commentaries give the following answers. Number one, this one's going to surprise you, but going out towards the moon, wherever it is that you're going to have a sighting of the moon, it's not going to make sense in our present city setup. But when Jews lived in less large metropolitan areas, going out to a field to have a clear view of the moon would give the impression that you're walking outside of the city. And on Shabbos, you're not allowed to walk outside of the Tchum. You're not allowed to walk 2,000 cubits, that's about 4,000 feet, outside of your city. People going out to do Kiddush Levanah would give the false impression that they're going outside of the city, which is not to be done on Shabbos. And that was one of the reasons that Kiddush Levanah was frowned upon on Friday nights. That doesn't apply so much to us today because most people will go out to the front of their shul, and they're certainly not giving the impression that they're walking outside of the city. But be that as it may, that was one of the reasons given for not doing Kiddush Levanah on Friday nights. Another reason given is because on Shabbos we honor the Shabbos, and when we do Kiddush Levanah, we honor the Shekhinah, the presence of God. Again, we don't pray to the moon, but we believe that we perceive God's presence in great majestical things like the sun, the moon, etc. So we honor Shabbos more than we greet the Shekhinah during Shabbos. We can't mix those two feelings, and so it's considered like an improper mixing of emotions to go out and greet the Shekhinah, quote unquote, when you're in the middle of honoring the Shabbos queen. And that's why we tend to try not to do Kiddush Levanah on Friday nights. Also, a very practical one, which was often given, doesn't apply so much today in some of our cities, but the practical reason was that most often a Jew going out to recite Kiddush Levanah would carry a siddur with him, and carrying outside in an Eruv is problematic. So they just made it an across-the-board thing to not do Kiddush Levanah, even in cities like many of us, where we do have an Eruv in our city area that's been arranged. We still don't want to carry a siddur, or at least go in that direction, and so we won't recite Kiddush Levanah on Friday nights. Remember, it's for reasons like that we don't blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, that's Shabbos. Even though there's an Eruv in our city, well, what are you worried about? Somebody's going to carry the shofar. But nevertheless, the rabbis instituted that, and it sticks. So these are three of the common reasons given for not reciting Kiddush Levanah on Friday nights. Now, because they're only rabbinic restrictions, and they're not super, super strong, unequivocal explanations, therefore we do make exception once in a while. Like one of the most important exceptions would be that if it's been raining and you couldn't get a chance to say Kiddush Levanah, and your last chance to say Kiddush Levanah would be on a Friday night when it's clear and the moon is visible, then the Tzitz Eliezer and others say that in situations like that, you absolutely will say Kiddush Levanah on a Friday night if it's your last chance to say it and you weren't negligent in leaving it to that Friday night. So you could see that it's not a set in stone kind of rule. We will make exception when necessary. We just try not to arrange for our Kiddush Levanah to happen on Friday nights unless we really have to, like weather had been a problem and the only clear sighting of the moon would be on a Friday night. Okay, hope that was clear. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.